Here are lessons that every business owner can learn from the Russian guy's escapades. Before we start, let me be very clear. What he did was wrong. Recording and posting women without their consent is a violation of their right. It is a form of cyberbullying. This video is not to condone any of those actions. So before you misunderstand this video, that should be very clear. We are dissecting the strategy that made it possible to have such a high success rate. Another thing I want to be very clear on, in this video, I will not talk about the gender responsibility. I will not talk about the morality of this whole saga. A lot of creators have talked about gender responsibility, who is accountable, and I think as a community we are not mature enough to talk about this issue and come up with solutions that will prevent the same thing occurring in the next generation. So I will not talk about that. Gender responsibility, equality, accountability, we are looking at the business strategy. Now that we are clear on those two things, let's get into it. Now, as a business owner, even in a wrong situation, learn to extract lessons. It could be lessons on how to do something in a better way or how not to do it. Okay, so lesson number one that we can learn from this whole Russian guy saga is know your target audience. Know your client so well. Describe your client so well to the T. Because when you try to sell to everyone, you will end up selling to no one. This guy was very specific on the kind of woman he was approaching. Unless you are blind or you're trying to pretend, you cannot tell me you did not notice he was approaching a certain kind of woman. So as a business owner, know who you're targeting and be very clear about who you're selling to, what age bracket they're in, what are their interests, what is their income level approximately, what problems are you solving for them. The clearer you are, the easier it is for you to sell. Second thing you can learn from this whole Russian guy saga is be very clear on your offer. Now, you notice there was a bit of language barrier, but the communication was clear. I don't think there were any long stories. I don't think there were any long explanations. And I think it was clear to the point they were willing to follow him to his place of residence. And that is what being clear does. Clarity converts. If someone would ask you what you do, and it would take you more than 5 minutes to explain it, you're already losing the sale. Your offer should be simple, it should be direct, and it should be easy to understand. Kizungu mingi ya ChatGPT wachana nayo. Unless you're in a niche that requires that kizungu and they appreciate that kizungu mingi, and even then, make it more easier to understand what you're offering your target audience, your target client. The third thing you can learn from this whole Russian guy saga is use what you have to your advantage. Let's be honest. This guy knew, he had done research and he knew the woman he is targeting responds positively to the muzungu factor. So he used his muzunguness to his advantage. Was it strategic? Yes. Was it ethical? No. But the principle remains. Leverage what you have to get what you want. You may have strong communication skills, you may have technical expertise, you may have great personal brand, you may have confidence or what probably your peers would call kiherehere, or you may have a strong network based on probably your family. Leverage what you have to get what you want. And every one of us has that edge. You just have to identify it and use it. The fourth thing you can learn from this whole Russian guy saga is document and document shamelessly, but do it right, do it ethically, and have consent. We are in the digital age, for heaven's sake. If you're not documenting, whether it's processes, whether it's products, whether it's the service, if you're not documenting something to do with your business, then you're missing out on visibility. So post. If you need to post on socials, post. If you have a website, maximize on it. Share. Share on WhatsApp, share on Instagram, share on Facebook. Do not be afraid. I have posted so many times wataniona aje. Twice, thrice a day, post about your business. But as you are planning to post, as you are creating that content, This is very important. If your content includes your client's face, your client's body, your client's voice, get consent. Get it in writing, get it verbal and record the consent. Be transparent that the client will not be paid for this content, and be ethical about it. Build your brand the right way, because shortcuts will always catch up, and when they do, they come with serious consequences. Finally, these lessons sound simple, but simple does not always mean easy. I know you know that as a business owner, right? It takes research to know your target audience, to know your client, to know the demographic. It takes clear positioning and clear messaging. You have also to be very consistent in your messaging and in your delivery. You have to make sure that your customer service is top notch. Do not post, do not advertise, and yet qua ground the customer service is poor. And finally, you have to offer quality products and quality services. Do not shout at us, come and buy from me, and yet you're offering poor services or poor product. So if your value is solid and your positioning is clear, the conversion rate will shock you. Those are the lessons that you can learn from the Russian guy's saga. Now, like I said, I will not talk about the morality aspect of this whole issue. You guys have already talked enough. And I would say that I hope that the ladies get justice. But as we wait for that to happen, we can learn some lessons out of it. Okay? I hope that has been helpful. Have yourself a nice day.